This is it. It's a Polaris Sportsman 500. I don't know what year it is, but let's get this started. I don't know what it needs to get running, but I want to load it up in the trailer, take it back home, get it out of the snow. Maybe we can move it out of these briars here. Let's get some air in this tire. Alright, she's in. I got it loaded up, but this one is too far back on the trailer. It needs to be up at least another foot or two. So let's see if I can fix that. I think that got her done. All right, so we're back at home now, and we can take a closer look at this Polaris. Wow, look at this plywood. Anybody who leaves plywood outside, it's bound to rot, but this is actually not rotten. The frame is more rotten than the plywood. Wow, this must be magical plywood or something. In any case, check the engine oil. Oh, come on. Oh, gosh, that actually looks clean. Look at that. That is, that's transmission oil. That's too thick to be engine oil. Okay, where did that go? That's missing a bushing right there. Look at that. We need to take that off to at least fix that bushing. It's a Polaris 500 HO. I don't know what the HO stands for. 4x4. It does have a winch, but this thing probably needs to be replaced. Tires are in decent shape. It's still holding air after we put air in it. All right, let's get this in the shed here, just so we can work on it outside of the elements. All right. So now I'm going to take some of these panels off here, but it looks like some of these will come off pretty easily. Okay. Yeah, they just snap out. That makes it nice. All right. All right, I put this old battery back in, and after charging it overnight, it still doesn't hold a charge. It's like 5 or 6, 6.2 volts, so that's not gonna be enough. So I hooked up the battery pack here. Once I turn it on, I'm still getting nothing out of this switch up here. So the switch, since the switch doesn't work, I'm gonna try to jump start the solenoid here just to see if the engine turns over. Use this wire here to go directly to the battery. It's just hard to get to the solenoid right here. Okay, let me. Oh, I heard it. Okay. All right, so that's all I need to do. I just need to make sure the starter is getting to the starter. So that was that moved the starter just so much. So we're not getting juice to the solenoid, which is probably in this switch up here. So this switch, I mean, on these four-wheelers, you basically push this up. I mean, you can barely see it go up, but pushing that up will fire the machine. So I think I need to crack into here to see if that's even making contact, because I'm definitely not getting any voltage down here when I check it. So, all right, so I got an Allen wrench back here. Okay, I don't think those have been taken out for a long time. At least we can take off this whole unit now and check it out over at the bench. I know we're getting power here because when I turn the lights on, they do come on. So this, you can see, when you push it up, you push it up a little bit, that should be this ignition to turn it on. It's kind of weird because you'd never know that, you know. There's no signage on here or anything. I think that's, I don't even know if, oh, and this is off. I think that's off to the right. I think that's off to the left. So I think that's how it works. This is some sort of maybe 4x4 button. And when you go in reverse, I'm not quite sure what that is. Reverse button. So it looks like we can pull this apart. Okay. There. Uh-oh, what was that? What just fell out? Something just fell out. I heard it. I don't see it. And I was shaking it. Oh, I see it. It's a ball bearing. It's a ball bearing. Hold on. Fell in my lap here. Oh, there it is. What? Okay, so there's a ball bearing somewhere in here. And okay, that comes out there. Maybe it's worth it just to buy a whole brand new one of these. You know, I mean, I'm going to try to clean it off. Maybe try to get this back together, and then you know, maybe it's just not making a good connection. There's some bugs and all kinds of grime in here. Ants. All right, guys, after looking at this and seeing how badly it's worn down, I decided just to go ahead and get a new one. This one is made in China. It was only $20. I could have got an OEM one for probably $150, but I was not willing to spend that. And this one looks like pretty much the exact same one. So let's see how this works. Yep, on. So at least it has a number here. This one off to the right, off to the left, and in the middle it's run, and then that's how you start it. See, that's that spring right there. You push it up to start and it comes back. Definitely not working on this one. So let's put this back on the machine and see if we can get it started. All right, we're getting lights, so we know that's working. Tell you what, let's see if we can get this to turn over. Okay, no, that's still not working. All right, well, I still can't get this to turn over from the switch, so I'm looking in here, and we literally got cobwebs in here. And a little bit of janky wiring. I mean, look at this right here. That is pretty janky. It looks like it's coming to this, which I don't know what this is even, but that looks like that might go to the switch for the to the winch. So maybe that's the solenoid for the winch. It's pretty heavy duty wire. It goes for but looks like something has eaten up this right here too. So right now I'm just looking for any type of short going to the switch. Found 3 wires in here that are eaten. That one's been nibbled on. This one's been nibbled on. Got my tester out. The solenoid, which you can't see, it's right here for the starter. There's a little wire that should be connected to this switch that should turn the solenoid on. Hit this starter switch. Well, that's good news. That means that's getting power right there. Yeah, that probably means the solenoid's gone bad. I bet you the solenoid's gone bad then. So if the solenoid's getting power, it's basically not closing, which means the solenoid's probably rusted up or something, and then it can't get power to the starter. Maybe I'll hit it with a hammer a couple times, try to jump start it. All right, I've got to take this battery out. Now in order to get to the solenoid here, these rusted bolts, which actually are screws on this end, will have to be taken out. All right, got that out. It's a little bit rusted. All right, I've got this out. Let's make a note of what goes to what. All right, let's take this to the bench and test it out. Okay, so here's our solenoid. I kind of think we already know this is bad, but let's just test it out anyways. So what we got going on here is, this is the incoming voltage, and it should connect over to this voltage, which will go to the starter. So incoming from the battery over to the starter, right? So it's not making that connection. I don't believe so. And this is the wire that should connect the solenoid inside here, connect the plates, and then the power will jump from here to here. So we got a battery here. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, it's working. All right. All right, so I'm going to ground this, and then I'm going to touch this switch. This is like turning on the switch, and you should hear it connect inside. There's no connect. We got nothing. It's kaput. Let's order a new solenoid. In the meantime, I wonder if we can look inside of this thing. Thought I hit record, but I didn't. In any case, I pulled this apart just a second ago, thinking I was recording, and to get a look at this insides of the solenoid here, it appears okay. The only thing I can see is maybe it looks like that connection right there might be a little bit burnt out. Hard for me to tell. But it's not rusted up, so maybe there was just a broken connection in here, just not electrifying this to make the connection. But looks like looks like that does move. If that's where it's supposed to move. Looks like this will make a connection here with this ring, something like that. Maybe that's when it gets electrified, it's supposed to hit. In any case, it failed. It's probably a cheap aftermarket one. I don't see any markings on this one, so that's about all I want to do to this. When we get the new one in, we will assemble it, or we will install it, and maybe we can get this engine turned over. Better look closer with my glasses. Yeah, that's definitely looks burnt right there. See, it looks like that got fried somehow. So let's check this out. Just came in. Looks the same. All right, let's get this back on. All right, I've got the new solenoid in here, all wired up. 2 bolts holding it on here, and then this one's going to the battery. This is going to the starter. The only battery I have is this one, which is not producing but 5 volts, so I will have to hook it up to my battery charger to test that. So, all right, I'm just hooking up the negative here. Negative, positive, we're hooked up. Let's put this on a battery charger and try to see if we can turn this over. Oh, come on, get on there. Positive. 5 volts. Let's turn it on 12 here. All right, I have not tried this yet with the new switch, so let's turn it on. And let's give this a shot, see if it turns over. Oh yeah, that was it. Okay, let's try that again. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, yeah. Started for a second. Did I lose connection? That's frustrating. Off. It worked the very first time, and now It's not working. All right, I've got my tester out and I'm putting it on the wire to the switch here. Yeah, 12.3 when I hold it on, when I release, nothing. 12.4, when I release, nothing. All right, so maybe this Chinese solenoid just went kaput. It's a solenoid, man. Just I just tapped the solenoid like that and it went. Oh, what a cheap solenoid if it's that bad. Maybe the solenoid has to be broken in. What? Oh man, that's what you get when you get Chinese parts. All right, well, it seems to be working now. Really, that's all I did. I tapped it like this, and now it seems to be working. All right, well, we got the engine turning over. We'll see if that solenoid lasts for very long. Made in China. Okay, well, now on to the fuel system. Or spark, electrical. I haven't even opened this yet. See if there's any fuel in here, and there's probably not. Yeah, that's completely bone dry, which is good news. And the carburetor is right there. So I'm not even gonna take that carb off. I'm gonna throw some gasoline in here, and let's see what it does. That's probably enough for now. Choke. It's got a choke up here, manual choke. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe choked it a little bit more. That's a sign that we got a jet clogged, I think, that I can't take it out of choke and I can't give it any gas, so we might have to clean that carb. All right, I think it's gonna need a carb clean. There we go. We gotta clean this carb. That looks like the fuel pump right there. So it's above the left front tire. Right here, and this looks like it might just come out. Oh, look like, oh, I got one more I gotta take out right there. This one was, yeah, just, I've got extra ones of these, so I can just pull it out. All right, that's pretty easy to get to, I guess. You just yank it out. And I got these marked, and that one will just be the one unmarked. Okay. Okay, well, here's our fuel pump here. Let's just crack this open to see if it's how it looks inside, so we can eliminate this as being the issue. Off. This is going to be your diaphragm, which actually looks okay. Diaphragm, not in bad condition right there. Okay. What about this other side over here? might be reusable. Okay. I think that would still work. You know, maybe there's a gasket kit I can get for this. Spring still okay. I don't inherently see any problem with this fuel pump. Yeah, looks okay to me. Okay, I'm just going to put this back together and we'll just test it out to see if it's pumping or not. Put the fuel pump back on here. So this one here labeled P should be the pump. Pull this up here. Let's see if we can get it to pump up like so. Oh, there we go. All right, it's pumping. Not that strong, but it's pumping. Now that we've eliminated the fuel pump, well, I know there's at least one problem so far, and that is a lack of a fuel filter from the fuel tank to the pump to the carburetor. I did not see one, so I will be adding one for sure. But if it's getting fuel and it's not starting, I think we have a carburetor issue. Alright, well the throttle end was pretty easy to get off right there. So we are free and clear now. This is the original carb. It's the Mikuni carb. So I definitely want to save this if I can. I've got another Mikuni carb, I think, from another four-wheeler. Where is it? Up here. Is this Mikuni? Yeah. Is this the same kind? Similar. I do not think it's the same. Okay, so now that I got this off, I'm going to take off the bowl, the top. I'm going to see if there's. I'd like to take this off here. Any other ports that I cannot get to. Something that's causing this to overflow. Something's definitely causing it to leak. I need to clean this. Make sure I got this clean. All right, let me put that on time lapse real quick. So I've got this partially disassembled, and there's a few more jets that I failed to take off. You can see right in there. There's one, and then here is one I need to take off. So that takes a little bit smaller screwdriver. Let's see if I can access it with this one. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So this one's real loose. I'm going to screw it to the right first to see how many rotations. So that's 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 2.5 to almost 2 3/4. So let's come all the way out with that. But let's remember that, almost 2 3/4. Now we got one more here. Oh man, it's gonna be pretty tight. I don't know if I can get my screwdriver in here. I think it's kind of bottoming out there. I can't tell. I have to trim it up a little bit on the edge here. All right, that didn't take off much, but I think that's just enough to get in here. Yeah, there we go. That's what that one looks like. Anything else in here? Oh, yes, okay. That spring came out of this one right here. Yeah, that was the previous one I took out. Where did that go? Oh, that's this guy right here. All right, so the spring goes around this one here. And that was the one that was out 2 3/4. All right, what else can I take off here? Is that it? All right, let's clean this up and soak it. Let's try to let these parts sit in here for a little bit. I don't know if I can fit this whole thing in here or not. Let's see. I don't think you're supposed to get rubber in here, so I'd like for that to sit there. Okay. All right, let's take this out. Okay, I think I've cleaned all the little tiny pieces and all the little holes out. You shine a light behind here, you can see, you know, that's clear. There's a little pinhole in that one. I've blown this, I've soaked it. I think I've done just about everything I can do. So let's put this back together. See if we can get this to work properly. Well, look at that. I was wrong. There is an inline fuel filter, but I'm going to go ahead and replace that nevertheless. All right, well, I took this one off, got the new one on. Let's take the slack out of that line, hook it back up. All right, putting this back together. Let's get the choke line put in here. All right, let's get this cover back on. Let's get this back in here. All right, let's see if that does anything to this carb here. Okay, added about a half tank of fuel. Taking off again on me. Brakes. All right, let's. It's still dripping a little bit. Look at that. Oh, now it's coming out of here. Coming out of this, where's it coming out? Like it's getting flooded. Oh man. Where the heck is it? It's running all down. So something is messed up with this thing. I don't know what's going on. I feel like it's coming out of there too. I don't know what that is. It's leaking everywhere. It's just coming out of the whole thing. I mean, it's running. It's just leaking. I mean, this is frustrating because it's running, it's idling, but it's just leaking out of, I don't know what these jets are for. Why is it coming out of there? It's leaking out of the bottom. It's leaking out of here on the side. It's dripping out of there. As much as I like this Mikuni carb, I don't know. Maybe time to replace it or just get a kit for it. I think what I'm going to do is look for another carb kit or another carb like it, maybe mix and match parts. I'd like to keep that carb if I can, but I don't know, maybe it's got some clogs that I couldn't get to. Maybe it's got some dirt and some passageways that are messing with this thing. So, all right guys, well check this out. 3 very important things that I've been waiting on finally came in. 1, a battery, needed one of those. 2, this is the bushing for the steering stuff here. And 3, look at this. All right, oh, look at that, a new fuel filter. But most, oh, why are these loose pieces everywhere? It is a new carburetor here. Let's pull this out. Oh, maybe something else got delivered. Check it out, UPS. All right, so, oh my goodness. Got little pieces in here. Oh, sheesh. New carburetor here with pieces all over the place. Look at that. That's some good packaging right there. I'm tempted just to put this on as is. I don't even want to open this bowl. And here is the new carb. And I feel like there still may be some jets clogged on this and some other issues. So I'm going to hang on to it. But I think for now, I am going to put this on as is. All right, so I took the old battery out, went ahead and got the new one in, and I went ahead and got the carb installed. Didn't take you through all that, but it's on there. I think everything is hooked up, so we're gonna give this a shot. See if this starts. It's been several. Sounds pretty good. Let's see if it's leaking any fuel. Well, let's give that a few minutes to see if it leaks any fuel. Want to make sure. All right, it sounds pretty good. And certainly not leaking any fuel, so might have to go with the Chinese carb. Oh, yeah, it's got fluid in there. Should be enough, but you know, let's top it off a little bit. There it is. And they're nice and firm. Down here. I'm starting to figure this out. It looks like that's high, that's low, but it'll come in, and then maybe that's all right. So maybe there's a neutral in here, and then maybe to the right. Okay. Oh, right and forward. That's in gear, and then that's probably low, and then maybe to the left. Okay, left, and then maybe that's your reverse right there. All right, we're making progress. This is good. All right, let's see if we can't fix this little bracket that holds in the carburetor. All right, well, I just put the air box cover back on and hooked these lines back up, and I got to tell you now, with no vacuum leaks, this runs much better, and I could full throttle it without it having to sputter out anymore. So that was probably just the issue. Just needed to hook the rest of the vacuum lines up. She's workable right now. We'll change the oil. Hey wifey, how many eggs we get today?
12.
12 eggs. Nice. Oh my. What is that? That looks pretty dormant, but okay. This is what we got to fix. Probably a bushing or something. All right, so I'm looking at this in here. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. But the steering shaft bushing right there, where the steering shaft is welded right there. So there's no way to get to slide on a bushing from this end. And it goes right around that, right there, if you can see in there. So I think it must come in like two parts, where you put one part in and then put the other part around. I was looking, I did a quick Google search, and on Amazon this popped up: aftermarket Polaris Sportsman upper steering bushing. I wonder if that's it. You just put it in two parts. So this is the bushing, I believe, for the handlebar right down there. That's gonna be a little tricky to get on. Let me figure that out. It looks like the bushing goes on right here. I think I want to take this handlebar off, at least to give me some room to get in there. So let me see if I can take that off. All right, so these have the nuts on the bottom. The nuts are 12mm, and these are 7/16. I guess they do that in case you don't have the same wrench twice. Oh man. With this handlebar off here, I think I can lift it up far enough and just slide that bushing right under there. All right, now it looks like I need to loosen this bolt and that one over there so that I can give myself a little slack to get this bushing in there. And look what I just noticed there. A grease port to grease that bushing in there. I bet you it had never been greased, so probably needs to be greased so it won't break off again. All right, I took this completely off, this little collar. And so what I'm gonna do is put this on, and then I'm just gonna have to jam this in there. Look at that. It's a very tight fit after I get this on, and then I'll just lock it back down. That's good. I went ahead while I had the grease gun out. I greased some of the undersides. This machine probably hasn't been greased for years. So I figured this rear brake, it has a separate master cylinder that is full. So in order to fix this, I'd probably have to tear into the rear brake system and, you know, probably buy some new parts, which I don't think I care too much about the rear brakes right now. As long as the front brakes work well, then that's good enough for now, for me. So really the only thing we have left, really, I want to get some lights on here, fix the wiring up here, maybe get some nice LED lights for the front. I do believe these do work. Let's see, turn this on. One of them works. Okay, so we got good wiring. That works. So I bet night vision is probably really horrible with these lights. So tires look to be in decent shape. No, I don't think I'm gonna have to do anything there. I'll check the bearings, maybe see if I hear anything, but other than that, we're about ready to put this back in business. It's gonna make a good hunting four-wheeler. All right, so I'm under here. This winch it looks like it's locked up. You can turn it this way to manually, let's see, manually unlock it, and I can't pull it by hand. So what I'm going to try to do is just take this off. All right, well, I got this winch off here. I don't know if it works anymore. I think it might be frozen up inside here. You hook up either positive here and it'll go forward, or positive here and it'll go in reverse, and just ground anywhere to the frame. So I believe that's how it works. This is to engage it. This is disengage, where you can pull it out freely, and I certainly cannot pull it out freely right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me get back to this. Oh, that was easy. Could have done that one by hand. I'm always concerned that there's going to be a bunch of magnets or something where something's going to fall out. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, definitely looks corroded right there, right? Oh yeah, that's not a good sign. Water, moisture gets in probably right here. Of course, there's no gasket up here either. They aren't sealed well to keep the weather out. Not looking too good. So here's where I'm afraid stuff's gonna fall out. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. That is just chock full of rust. Yeah, there's no way that was going to work. I don't know. Can you clean these up? Clean all the rust off? Put them back together? I mean, not something I'm really interested in doing. Get off there. Get. Well, I'm cracking into this winch here, and it appears that the internals of the winch bearings seem to be working just fine. So perhaps if we can get this motor working, or maybe a replacement motor, we can get this back on. Oh, it's moving. Okay. There we go. It's a little magnetic. It pulls it right back in there. I think we can clean that up. All right, it's back together. All right, I pulled these two wires outside from here. I'm going to sit this winch on top here just to test it out. I don't think this needs to be grounded to anything. I think either one of these grounds itself. You know, once you turn this, the other one switches to a ground. I think that's how it works. So let's see if this works. I'm going to turn it on. Here we go. Yeah, this winch may be toast, you know. Right now I was hoping to get that winch working without too much effort, but maybe the winch is just toast. It's definitely getting juice. Not very much, but that gives it enough juice to kick off. Alright, so let me turn the engine on. Alright, it's on. 12 volts. And here we go. No, nothing. No, it's still sparking. And it's getting full juice. Huh. Yellow. All right, so we're gonna give up on the winch rebuild. I just don't think it's I don't think I can rebuild it. You know, if I did something wrong, you guys let me know. If there's some trick you gotta clean or some wires you gotta look at, but I just think it's toast. Time to order a new one. It's not worth putting too much effort into it. Winches are $200 or less of this size, so. I didn't quite commit to that one. There it is, folks. I think I'll just close this video out here. Sure, there's a lot more work we could do to it. We could get some new lights on there. We could replace the seat. I don't know what this contraption is on the back here. We could fix the winch, buy a new one. But she runs well. I like it. All right, one last thing I want to do here is use this liquid electrical tape to tape over where this mouse had chewed on these wires here. I really didn't want to cut into this and resolder these, so it's kind of a shortcut. Oh, that's a lot there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sticky, sticky. What do you guys think? Is this good enough for these parts here? All right, we'll see how that holds up.